And a very good morning to you from another beautiful showing off Sydney morning. Another gorgeous morning. It is Tuesday morning here in Sydney. Hoping you're well. Hoping you're doing good. Let me know in the comments. Where are you joining me from? Let me throw those comments up on our video here. Where are you joining me from? Good morning, Adele. Good morning to Tony as well. Yeah. Thanks, Tony. I did share a bit of a meal plan with you guys this morning. A little bit of something that I have been working on over the last couple of days. Working really hard. I worked the whole weekend. I was here at my desk that you see now pretty much the entire weekend. Yeah, no, it was. I went home. I remember going, like, this is Saturday, right? I went home probably about 8 o'clock at night after I've been here all day, and sat on the couch for like 5 minutes and kind of talked to the family. And then I went upstairs and I went to sleep. And I did it all again the following day on Sunday. And then Monday, which was super busy as well. So what you had at the very beginning of this little live podcast I'm doing with you guys, you had my hard work for the last couple of, like, since this time last week. It does take me some time to put together the brand new recipes in the Boost Camp meal plan. Of course, I'm talking about Boost Camp 5, which went live for download this morning. So that was all my energy that I put in the last couple of days to make sure that come today, if you are a current member of Boost Camp and you're on Boost Camp 4, you know that your meal plan, it's waiting for you. You know that your meal plan, you can download it anytime you like. You know, you're not waiting for me. It is literally sitting there waiting for you. I love that. I love that so much, because what that does is it gives you back control. So you get to decide when you start doing a Boost Camp, when you have a little break, when you restart. Of course, you're always going to be part of the amazing Boost Camp community, our private community page. And you can connect with your fellow boosties, your fellow Boost Campers there. But just knowing that it's in your time frame and not on mine is so incredibly important for all of us. Because, you know, sometimes my time frame is not going to work for you. But this way you get to start and stop whenever you want. If you're going on a holiday, you get to stop. If you're having a little break, you get to stop. If life takes over, you get to stop. So I, with much excitement, have released our Boost Camp 5 this morning for download. So you can look at all those new recipes that I've created, and I've created quite a few. There's quite a few new recipes in this Boost Camp. Like, there's heaps. Goodness me, what was I thinking? I definitely got excited by this Boost Camp theme, which is, of course, the blue zones, which are the areas around the world where people live the longest, they live the healthiest, they live the most robust, and for want of a better term, meaningful, purposeful lives, amazing communities. And every time I think about what we have created, Bridget's Healthy Kitchen has created in regards to Boost Camp, we have created such a community. We're just the blue zone online. Because if you think about it, right, some of the blue zone's key priorities is, they just eat whole foods that they cook themselves. And I'm like, tick. You know, there's a big tick. The blue zones are also they take community very seriously. And it's one of the things that we value so intently when it comes to Boost Camp, is creating a community, creating a support network where we actually do support each other. It's not about ripping us to shreds. It's actually about you having a safe space. And sometimes, you know, especially on this health journey, I've just needed people to talk to about my journey, because not all days are great. Let's be honest. Some days are absolute garbage. And because of that, I know that I've got the community there that I can just go and have a whinge. I can have a moment of, like, frustration. I can cry. I can laugh. I can celebrate. I can be, I can be mindful, but at the same time, I can also, look back and be quite confident that people in our community are not going to rip me apart. We're actually going to support each other. So we really make sure that we put a lot of work into our community, that we, if necessary, weed out the bad actors who are there just to be miserable. Because if that's your common goal, is I'm just going to go in there and disrupt this beautiful community that we've been nurturing for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about Boost Camp, right? Not BHK's been around for nearly a decade, but the Boost Camp community has been about 4 years. And if your goal is just to go in there and be a bit of a dick, we're going to get rid of you. Like there's no room for people just being a dick because you feel like it, quite frankly. Like legitimately share your concerns. We are totally there for that. And every community needs to be transparent and realistic. But if you're just going to be a dork, you can get lost, quite frankly. And we are quite supportive of our community. This is from Ruth. Boost Camp 4 is going to be my last. But FOMO, oh, sorry, not sorry, Ruth. You know how much I enjoy a little bit of a tease when it comes to these delicious and amazing Boost Camp recipes. And it kind of leads me into our main topic today, which is fat loss, right? The fat loss secret pretty much everyone misses. And by the way, it's not willpower. I have to say that it is not willpower. So great to know you're joining us on BC5. Look, Ruth, you're just amazing and gorgeous and incredible. Being a part of our Boost Camp and BHK community forever. I feel like I've known you forever, Ruth, and you're always welcome in our community because you're part of that vibrancy. You and so many people who join me on these daily lives, like our beautiful Claudia joining us from Adelaide. And I get it, Claudia. She's like, what are you doing, Bridge? Can you hurry up? Can you hurry up and come? I know. I'm promising it. And every time you remind me, I'm going, yes, I know what you're saying. So, for everyone who's part of this vibrant community, you make it what it is. We are just have this overview, and our primary job is to make sure that no misinformation is being shared in the community. So we're all really following the science, and our other goal is to make sure that there's a no dick policy. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's just, I don't have time for that. And I guarantee you, neither do you. We don't have time for that. We just want to know that we can go in there. We can be vulnerable. We can share our highs and our lows and not have people tear us apart. And, there's always going to be bad actors as a community get larger. So I've just got my team across it. Don't you worry about that. Plus me and Mahaya are across it as well. So to everyone joining us live this morning and also considering, what's next for you. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to be sharing with you the thing that matters when it comes to fat loss. Yesterday, I talked about Boost Protocol and how it can boost your fat loss. 2 times as much fat loss. It's nuts. Fat, it binds to fat in food that you eat and removes it without it being turned into calories. It's pretty blinking amazing. But today we're talking about this one behavior. And it's a behavior. So it's something that you don't have to buy. It's not something that, you have to go out and purchase. When it comes to behaviors, this is all about habits, right? So I'm going to be talking about that in a second. But before I do that, I just want to share with you what my hard work from the last week and a bit. It's actually a lot longer than that. Like right now. So this morning, as of 12:01 a.m., Boost Camp 5 went live. Now that for my team takes us a lot of work. It's not just me who works on it. You've got people in the back end making sure that when you click a link, it goes through to the right place. You've got people in the back end helping me to create and edit images and edit copy for Boost Camp Academy. You've got people in the background who make sure that when you push purchase, you're only getting charged once, and things are right, and you're confident, and we've got customer care. We've got a massive team that makes this happen. So at 12:01 this morning, Boost Camp 5, the Blue Zone Boost Camp went live for download. So it's open now for anyone who's done Boost Camp 4 and you want to progress on and you're really enjoying this journey. Boost Camp 5 is there waiting for you. But as I was saying, there's a lot of work that goes into it in the back end. And yes, I've been working pretty solidly on the meal plan and the new recipes for the last week. But way before that, I was starting to consider what recipes I wanted to go in and the direction I wanted this Boost Camp to lean into. And when it comes to the Blue Zone, I had a lot of things that I wanted to make sure were a part of that Boost Camp. So it takes me a lot longer than just the one week of actual physical process. There's weeks in the making as I begin to bring all the elements together just to create a Boost Camp. So much so, as I'm standing in the shower this morning thinking about what I'm going to be doing today, I was like, I've got to start working on Boost Camp 6. That's what I'm going to start doing. The day it gets launched, 6 hours later, I'm going, all right, now I've got to start working on Boost Camp 6. So, there's a lot of energy that goes in. So I want to show off a little bit. I want to show you what I did because I'm really excited and I'm so proud of it. So bear with me, please. So I'm just going to share just a couple of stills with you guys, just so you sort of know. So some of the recipes you can expect to experience on Boost Camp 5. Now, top right, left-hand corner there, the red box, that is a miso marinade, different from the miso glaze, I'm going to say. I am obsessed with this miso marinade. It is so good. It is so delicious, and it's part of Boost Camp 5. Next to that, we just have the most delicious golden roasted dish there with, it's just eating the rainbow, isn't it? Eating the rainbow. We've got our speedy granola. Many of you have already seen my live cooking class where I made these gut. Oh, good. They are very good, very German. These are my good gut candies, and I've got them down in the warehouse kitchen today. I just think they're amazing. There is matcha latte. I made a brand new green dragon jam. So it's a chili jam because I was getting people asking me what a sugar-free chili sauce or jam would look like. I made one using green chilies. There's a vinegar shot or a ginger vinegar shot, which is new. These are all new recipes. Dirty chai for people who like a little bit of spice in their espresso. And this one where I've got my hands holding it, that is a black garlic miso broth. So this is like the alternative to bone broth, because bone broth takes like, I don't know, what is it, 6-8 hours to make. My miso broth, 5 minutes. So it's got the same benefits or very similar benefits. Well, actually, it's got the same benefits, but more because you've got black garlic in there. Tastes amazing, by the way. And so, if you're feeling a little bit wintry, you can have that broth that is on Boost Camp 5. I've also got here next one. This is a fridge forage omelette, top left-hand corner. Amazing dark leafy greens. Now, this salad, I'm going into the top right-hand corner here. Right, on this, in this meal plan, there is a combination of ingredients known throughout this area as the Three Sisters. This is actually not my name. I didn't name it. This was the name. So one of the blue zones around the world, and there are 5/6 blue zones. One of the blue zones is in an area in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is an island nation. And so they do have quite a few of the more tropical grown produce. So one of the ones that is quite popular there is squash, aka pumpkin. We don't get a lot of squash here, but we do get pumpkin. So this salad is from Costa Rica, which I'm going to say again, it is a blue zone. It has a combination of 3 ingredients, which when combined are synergistically almost perfect for your body. So pumpkin is there. I've got charred corn. There's some avocado in there as well. You get to eat this on Boost Camp 5. There is, going down to the bottom there, back over to the left, that is a pork loin tonkatsu inspired from my trip to Tokyo recently. You don't have to use pork, of course. You can use any protein you like. But oh my goodness, delicious, like so good. We've got a grab and go pie. We've got 100-year chicken noodle soup. It doesn't take you 100 years to make it, but if you eat something like this often, you're going to live to 100 years. So this is another Blue Zone inspired recipe. 5-minute din alert down the bottom there as well. Just the most, it took me 5 minutes to throw that together. I've got some fermented pickled chilies, just in case you're interested. And that is a purple sauerkraut, which I'm calling Purple Rain. That's Boost Camp 5. There's actually more than that. There's more than that, but those are the first 18 you get. There was nine in each image, 9 things in each image. So I worked pretty hard on it. Just want to show off a little bit. Not gonna lie, just a little bit. So let me know where you are coming from today. If you want to join us on Boost Camp 5, or you want to join, just come join us on Boost Camp, because actually what we are discussing today is an alignment with what we practice and what we are aspiring to achieve when it comes to this concept. It's not even a concept because people are doing it all around the world now. This ideal of living a long, healthy, productive, enjoyable life. Like, I'm not talking about living long but being in pain. I'm not talking about living long but being, in a nursing home, unable to care for yourself. I'm not talking about living short, because that happens as well, right? Not actually experiencing the years, the opportunity we have in front of us, which is the years we have in front of us. Like, as a 50-year-old woman now, I kind of look at that and I go, well, I guess this is halfway. Like, I've got 50 years left to really give it a good shot, give it a good go, give it a good punch. But I also feel very privileged that I've even gotten this far, because so many people don't get to my age. And I look at my age as being halfway. So what we are talking about is, I'm talking about the unnecessary, or more so the avoidable deaths that we see, the unavoidable shortening of lifespans of lives, because we haven't quite understood just how important our nutrition and our wellness is. So I am talking about the avoidable diet-related deaths that we see. And of course, what are we talking about now is that diet and diet-related disease and illnesses is the number one killer around the world. So we know that we are eating ourselves to death. And Boost Camp's primary goal is to change that we all begin to understand just the importance of eating well, the importance of prioritizing our nutrition for health and wellness, and what things are the important things to focus on, right? What is the most important thing that you can focus on? What is that secret? What is that one secret that almost everyone misses? Because if they did not miss this, they would be in a very different place that they're at now. And I'm talking about, 80% of adults in certain Western countries, I won't name names, but certain Western countries in Australia and New Zealand are catching up quite quickly. Over 80% of their adults are obese, overweight, which means that they're carrying excessive fat, dangerous fat, inflammatory fat on their body, and their lifespan dramatically decreases. The more weight you carry, the shorter your lifespan is predicted to be. And that is the hard facts for us. And so I don't want to talk about weight loss anymore. I want to talk about fat loss, because that's actually way more important than your weight. Because when you hop on the scales, you're getting your overall weight. And so you're getting how much your bones weigh, how much your skin weighs, your organs, the water that your body naturally holds on to every day because it needs it, and your body's made up of about 70% of the weight that you see on those scales. 70% of that weight is actually made up of water because your body carries up to 70% of that weight as fluid. So when you jump on those scales, you're not, if you look down at the scales and you're like, oh, I'm 100 kilos, you're not 100 kilos of fat, are you? No, there's all these other things that go on. So I really want to focus on the fat loss. But how much of that 100 kilos when you look down at the scales is actually made up of fat? How much of it is bones? How much of it is muscle? How much of it is skin and organs and hair and everything else and water? And how much of it is actually fat? So we need to focus on that narrative as opposed to always going weight loss. No. This is fat loss. And this is the type of fat that's dangerous for you. This is the type of fat that does not serve you, right? I'm talking about the jiggly stuff. I'm talking about the stuff that collects around your midriff, your hips, your waist. I'm talking about that fat. That's the dangerous fat. I mean, fat in general, if you're carrying excessive fat on your body and you know it's excessive for your height and your weight, and it's causing you not to be able to do the things that you want to do in life, then we are looking at a potentially dangerous amount of fat. And the more we ignore it, the more we have our busy lives, prioritize everything else. I've got stuff to do. I'm running around doing this and that. The more that we do that, the more harder it gets to lose the fat. So what is that one secret that pretty much everyone misses? And I hear it time and time again when I do my, nutritional sessions with people, because they all believe it's willpower is that secret, that key that they're missing when it comes to being able to lose weight. Because how come, you see some people and you're like, oh, just so easy for you. How were you able to lose weight? How were you able to keep it off? How were you able to be successful? And I'm over here struggling. Right? We see this all the time. I hear this all the time, and I'm sure you've seen it too. Why do some people make it look so effortless? Whereas other people, maybe you're that other person, you find that it's a struggle. So here it is. This is the one thing. If you were to ask me, and I've been doing this for nearly a decade now, so as in keeping the weight off, keeping the fat off for nearly a decade. And if you were to ask me the one thing that sets me apart from people who yo-yo diet, the one thing that sets me apart, it's not willpower. I'm going to tell you that right up. Willpower can only get you so far. And if it was willpower that got me here nearly a decade later from when I started on my journey, if it was willpower that got me here, I'll be the first one to tell you it's willpower, but it's not. It's absolutely not willpower. In fact, I have some of the worst willpower of people that I know. I'm really soft when it comes to that. I'm just like, I'd rather not, do I have to, convince me to do it because I don't want to do it. Willpower is not what drives me. Willpower is not the thing that has kept me feeling good, looking great, and getting younger as I age. It's definitely not willpower. My goodness, no way. Because like I said, I'm pretty bad. If you and I were friends growing up, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. I was the easiest person to convince to do something that was potentially not the best thing to do. I was that kid, right? And I'm that adult. I'm easily persuaded to do things that are not great. And if you put a feast in front of me, I will partake in that feast. I won't sit back and go, oh no, I do boost camp and I do Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. I could possibly eat that. I'll be like, oh, that looks great. And I'm there, right? I'm a chef as well. I want to eat all the food and do all the things. So it's not willpower. Willpower will only get you so far, and that's not very far. Because willpower fades, as does, by the way, motivation, as does drive. especially if you've been doing something for a while and you're like, oh, I'm kind of, and the novelty's worn off. It's like joining a gym. You're like gung ho, let's do it. When things are first, when you first sign up, and then within a couple of weeks, and I'm speaking to really dear friends who actually own gyms, so they've given us the data. Within a couple of weeks, that motivation is basically flatlined. And it's the same when it comes to this approach. So we can't rely on motivation and we can't rely on willpower. But here's the one thing that we can rely on. And this is the secret that people miss, is when you start something new, or when you want to reignite something that you've started that works. Say, for example, you've done a boost camp and you've gone, oh my God, that was amazing. Wow, what the heck? That was great. I actually learned a lot and I lost a lot of weight and I ate delicious food and I felt amazing and my clothes were fitting better and people were noticing. Like you do a boost camp and you just feel like you're on top of the world. And then you come back to boost camp the second time and you don't do as well. Really common. And that's because that novelty has worn off, right? So this is what makes the difference for me, for you, for anyone who's successfully navigated this journey, this health and wellness journey for months, for weeks, for years, is this is what we do. Number one, we work on process. So rather than just going through the motions, we actually work on organizing the process. Because once you've organized the process, and it's not your willpower which is going to cause you to not succeed, it's not having the right processes in place. And that means you have a goal, you have order, you have worked on things and improved things so that your processes are better. So if you're someone who's regularly saying, oh, I'm too busy, you make time. That's part of the process, is you make time because you understand the importance of this lifestyle. If you're someone who regularly says, I don't like cooking, or I don't like the kitchen, then you chunk it out. So you create a process where that you're not stuck in the kitchen, all weekend, and you chunk it out. All of us have a different way of focusing and getting involved with this. But really what it comes down to is you've got to create process because, and here's the secret. Here's what makes me successful. Here's what makes me look like this lifestyle is effortless, is that firstly, I looked at my old processes, my old behaviors and my old habits and went, all right, I can sort of see a pattern here. And I worked to change those processes. Once I changed those processes, I just kept on doing it over and over again. The food changed, the environments changed, the body changed. I grew older as I was doing it. Like lots of things changed. Like life happened, grief happened. Like so many things have happened in the last nearly decade that I've been doing this. So many changes. But you know what did change? Is those processes that I'd set up so that I would just keep doing it regardless of the changes happening around me. I had my processes in place and I just did them. So what I got, and here's the word that I want you all to focus on for the next 6 months, right? We've only got 6 months left until Christmas. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I said that. It's actually like 5.5 months. I'm sorry I said that, but we do. We've only got 5.5 months left of 2025. But let's just focus on that. That's enough, right? I don't want to focus on the next 5 years. Let's just focus on the next 5.5 months. Is that the one thing that sets successful people apart when I'm talking about weight loss? I'm talking about life in general, like whether it be your career, whether it be you're a sports person, whether it be, that you're part of a team and you want to paddle or run or swim as part of a team and you're part of it, and you want to make sure that you hold up your end of the bargain. So whether it be personal, professional, leisure, whatever, right? There's this one word that we all need to focus on. There's this one thing that sets those people apart, the high achievers, the successful people, if you want to call them, that one word, and it's my favorite word, it's consistency. You can't expect to do something once or twice and then get the results that I get. It's as simple as that. The results that you see right now, which is maintaining a 35 kilo weight loss for nearly a decade, aging in reverse, having more energy, sleeping better, feeling better, just no longer being depressed, no longer being pre-diabetic, fatty liver disease, whatever you makes you look at me and go, she is someone who has successfully navigated this lifestyle. Whatever that thing is that you look at me and you go, okay, yeah, okay, she's done it. Whatever it is. For everyone, it's different. For some people, it's weight loss. For other people, it's health gain. Right? For some people, is the fact that I'm no longer depressed. For other people, it's the fact that I'm no longer have a fatty liver or pre-diabetic. For some people, it's that I was able to go on with the energy I have and create BHK. Whatever it is that make you look at me and go, oh yeah, she's the image of successfully navigating this journey. Whatever that is, I can tell you what got me here and what keeps me here, and that is consistency. And we do, unfortunately, live in a society that has taught us that diets are done for a certain amount of time, and then we stop that diet, and then we go back to what we're doing before. Now, imagine if I went back to what I was doing before. Holy heck. Within a couple of weeks, I'd be back stuck in my room, depressed and miserable and in pain and inflamed and not willing to come out and losing my confidence. It wouldn't take long for me to become that person again if I stopped my diet. But this is not a diet. I'm not on a diet. I haven't been on a diet for 9 years. I mean, that sounds pretty lame, doesn't it? I've set up the processes in my house, in the way that I shop, in the way that I speak to myself, in the way that I cook. And I had to relearn all those things, how I spoke to myself. I had to relearn how to organize my house. I had to relearn how to organize my family. I had to relearn how to organize my life, my business, my work. I had to relearn how to cook. I had to relearn how to do all of these things in order to change the processes, in order to change the physical things that I was doing every single day, to make sure that this lifestyle stuck. Because I did it for I think I did it for 5 weeks when my first little foray into being healthy, right? I did it for 5 weeks and I lost nearly 12 kilos in 5 weeks, which was amazing. So, I went from nearly 100 kilos, I was in the 90s, and I went down into the 80s. And I was just like, this is so cool. I'm just going to keep doing this. Consistency, right? I had no idea really what I was doing. I was kind of making it up as I was going along. But I realized very quickly that one of the key elements to my success, when it came to just losing weight, when it came to no longer being depressed, was that I'd found something that made me feel good. So it made sense to keep on doing that thing. And in order to keep on doing that thing, I had to change my processes at home. I had to work on what I was doing daily in order to make sure that I didn't stop doing the thing that was making me feel so good, which was eating all the right nutrition. Seriously. And it was hard because I was a businesswoman. I had a really busy household at that time. We had 5 teenagers living in our house then. 5. So me and Mahi had 5 teenagers, 4 of which were boys, teenage boys living in our house, plus our teenage daughter, plus our 2 cats, plus our business that I operated my own business there. I was doing catering. I was a VIP chef for Google. So I did a lot of catering for Google, which was in-house catering. I was really busy and really in demand. Google would fly me around the world to basically be their chef. I'd stand there and I'd give speeches, which I hated and I was the most horrible thing. I used to hate doing them, but I would do keynote speeches for Google's VIP guests. it was very nerve-wracking. So I was really busy running this really busy business. And no BA, there was no Bridget's Healthy Kitchen to guide me. There was no Boost Camp meal plan. I had to create my own. I had to do it. Like, there was nothing. There wasn't any, like, you guys have got it so much easier than I had it, because all you have to do is follow the plan that I've set up, which is the Boost Camp meal plan, right? Follow the guide. I've literally set the roadmap for you guys, the roadmap for success, whereas I had to fumble my way through it. Like, yeah, it was pretty interesting when I think back about what I was trying to do at the time. But what I recognized very early on in the piece was that eating well makes a big difference on how you feel and the energy you have. And eating well, like changing your diet changes your life. Changing your nutrition changes your life. It does. It really does. And you will be constantly, consistently surprised at what you're able to achieve when you put yourself first. And when you create those processes. Another word for process, habits. Another word for process, behaviors. It's all linked in, right? My behavior or my process used to be when I would come downstairs from my room in the morning. This was pre-Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, pre-Boost Camp. When I would come downstairs, in the morning, my process was that I would make myself a latte and then I would pop 2 pieces of bread into the toaster. That was my process. That's what I did. That was my behavior. That was my habit. So I recognized pretty early on that was not a good habit. That was not a good way to do it, because I didn't feel great after those toasts. In fact, I was, looking for more sugar and starch a couple hours after that, right? So it's about understanding that our habits, so the things that we do regularly or the processes that we've put in place, are either there to serve us or they're there to give us a disservice. And if you can think about your processes, what happens when you get up in the morning? How do you approach your shopping? How do you approach your cooking? What does your pantry look like? What does your house look like? If you can sit back and think about it and go, you know what? Yeah, there's some behaviors that have snuck in there that are not serving me. Well, Boost Camp teaches us to change those habits, change those behaviors, which means that we change our processes. And when you change your process, so you no longer come downstairs in the morning first thing and make a latte and pop 2 pieces of toast into the toaster and then grab the jam and the butter out of the fridge. If that's no longer your process, and your process is now to drink a liter of water, make an electrolyte, have some Boost Protocol in your black coffee, that sounds like it's going to be way more beneficial for your body than what the other process used to be. Processes matter because consistency is the key. Doing it over and over again, right? This is the key. Doesn't matter whether you're training for a marathon, you're learning how to drive, you're learning how to cook, you're working out at the gym, you're changing your diet, and you're working on your nutrition. Does not matter. Consistency is the key, because the more you do it, the more the process is automated. The more you push the boundaries, and I'm only talking about your own personal boundaries, because look, we've got no one to blame but ourselves if things don't go the way that you want it to. We've got no one else to blame. Like, there is no time for excuses. Oh, my husband doesn't support me. Oh, my kids told me it's silly. Or blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter, because I got all that. We all got all that. Oh, what are you doing now? Oh, not another diet. You hear that all the time. But actually, we hear that and then we use that as the excuse to not push those boundaries. So you've got to push those boundaries. You've got to do the things that are hard when no one's looking, because that's how you learn that consistency. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Doesn't matter what's happening. Is that this is just what you do, because this is the processes that are in place in your house. And good luck trying to come into my house and change my processes now, because they are so ingrained in me and in the household, because we've been doing it for so long now, that it would be really hard to go back to the other lifestyle, which was waking up in the morning and having 2 pieces of toast with jam. Like, I'd be like, oh, I've got to find the toaster, pull the toaster out. It's just, I've changed all the processes, right? My morning looks so completely different now. It's way more productive too, by the way. So if you want to know the secret, the absolute secret, the fat loss secret, that is the difference between people who lose weight and then keep it off, and people who lose weight consistently till they get to their goal, lose fat, I should say. See, even I struggle with that. Lose fat and get there and stay to their goal. The key is consistency. Doing it over and over again. Hence why Boost Camp 5 got released today. I'm not just going to give you one Boost Camp 1. Well, there's no consistency in that. For many people, they need to do more than one Boost Camp. They need to do 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got people who've been doing Boost Camps for, over 3 years, 3.5, nearly 4 years. People have been doing Boost Camps. They're at their goal, but they love it. They love the consistency. They love the challenges. They love continually interesting their palates with different recipes and opening their eyes to what's possible in this incredible, nutritious life that we can lead that also happens to be amazingly delicious. We are in a very fortunate place, and I don't take it lightly how fortunate we are that we've found each other. We found each other, and we have this ability to really go forth and achieve something pretty amazing. I've just seen some comments here. I'm just going to go back and have a look at some of these comments. All right, we've got a comment coming over from YouTube on our YouTube channel. I'm 23, 160 centimeters, 65 kilos. How much kilos I should lose or I should lost? Look, darling, 65 kilos, you're at a pretty good weight for your height and your age, my dear. You're at a pretty good weight. I wouldn't be focusing on kilo loss, fat loss. I'll be focusing on health gain, because you're in that's pretty nice place to be. If we were to look at it, traditionally, 65 kilos at 160 centimeters, it's pretty good. If you wanted to lose more fat, then, there's a tailor-made plan that can make sure that you do lose fat, but you also prevent muscle loss, because you don't want to lose muscle, right? You want to stay nice and lean. There's an approach that can be taken to this, but, you're in a pretty good place. I think focusing on health as opposed to fat loss or weight loss is actually a way more better way to look at it. And it's one of the things that I love about Boost Camp is that we regularly say, right, people come here to lose weight, and they do, but they stay here for the health that they gain, right? People come for fat loss, come for weight loss, but they stay because of the gain in their health. And they just can't deny how good they feel, how great they feel. So who else we got? Let me look at a few more comments here. Oh, it's good to see Martina joining us all the way from Germany this morning. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Martina. Wishing you the best. Just come out of surgery. We've got Anne joining us this morning as well. Good morning, Anne. Hope you are well too. Thank you for sharing all your images on our Facebook group yesterday. It was great to see your collection of teddies yesterday. It was Bring Your Teddy to Work Day officially yesterday in our office. One of our team members, her daughter, would not let her leave the house without taking a teddy with her, because Teddy was there to look after her. It was so cute. So I was like, you know what? Let's make it official. Bring Your Teddy to Work Day. So we posted that online, and it went a bit viral, went a bit crazy. So really good to see so many on the call tonight. Don't forget, you can absolutely start this journey with some very simple changes. You don't have to go all in, all out. You can start with some very simple changes. I'm hoping my moderators in our comments today, for our lovely lady who is joining us via YouTube, and to anyone else, to any of you who just want to start to test out the theory that is Boost Camp, to test out the theory that has seen thousands and thousands of people successfully navigate this lifestyle. Oh, there he is. He's here. Are you able to pop up a link, please, to our 3-day quick boost? Let's give that away today. Let's give away the 3-day quick boost. To anyone who's wanting to just give it a go, give it a crack, so to speak, let's throw up that link. You can download my 3-day meal plan for free, giving it to you for free. I've designed it so you don't have to buy anything apart from the food. It doesn't take a lot of prep time, but it's a really nice little taste into what doing a 28-day boost camp might look like, from the sense of what your body can experience. And believe it or not, there is a whole heap of changes that can happen in your body in just 3 days. Like, what happens in your gut in 3 days when you go from a processed diet or a takeaway diet or a drive-through diet or whatever you want to call it, you go from that and you go to a whole foods diet. Just the change alone in your gut bacteria, you will feel the changes. You will, and a lot of people, they notice the changes as well. They notice the changes. They begin to release fluid, whereas they're not holding on to inflammation. Like, there's some pretty major changes that can happen. Like, there was this one lady I was looking after who was based in just about 2 hours out of London. So she was in the UK. Really, really lovely lady, young mum, 3 kids, and single mum as well. So very, very busy. And so she was struggling with sort of trying to navigate the lifestyle in terms of just her, her busyness with her family and her commitments and her responsibilities as a mum to 3 young people and being a single mum as well. So I sent her the quick boost, which, by the way, now everyone is up. Oh no, that's not it, Mahi. Oh, is it there? It just says, is that it? Grab it here. I don't know if that's the right one. It's about insulin. Is that the right link? Just can you please confirm that is the right link that you've popped up there? Might be. He knows a lot more than I do when it comes to this sort of stuff. He does. So she did the 3-day boost because she found it really easy to navigate. There wasn't a lot of, reading involved. There wasn't a lot of prep involved. She didn't have to buy anything new. And she ended up repeating it and doing it for 5 days. And in that 5 days, this young lady, she was in her early 30s, this young lady in her early 30s, in 5 days, she lost 4 kilos. She could not believe it. So she was just blown away. So guess what she kept on doing? Boost camp. So again, consistency, right? She had a great experience, and under a week, she had the most incredible experience. She felt better. Like, her clothes were fitting better. She had more energy. She felt like something quite substantial had taken place. And all she was doing was eating the food, right? And so then she transitioned onto a 28-day boost camp. And of course, her results have just kept up because she's kept up. Consistency is the key. Mahi's saying it's the right link. Sorry to doubt you, sir. Didn't mean to doubt you. So consistency is the secret, everyone. Like, literally, if you're going to ask me why I keep on feeling healthier and keep on aging in reverse, it's because I consistently look after my nutrition. I consistently focus on the lifestyle as well that makes this all possible, that makes this amazing journey, without sounding like a cliche. But this is what it's all about. So have a absolutely fabulous day today. We have added in that link. If you want to download the free quick boost, 3-day boost meal plan, all the recipes are there. If you want to download that, I'm giving it away for free today. All you got to do is click the link in the comments and you can get a copy of that quick boost. You can have a bit of a taste. You can kind of see what it's all about. It's literally like a little 3-day teaser. And yes, you will get results if you are transitioning from a high processed takeaway style diet and you transition over to a whole foods diet. You will get some results. And when you get those results, come back and see us. And then we'll give you the secret, which is the consistency, which is Boost Camp 28 days. So thank you so much for everyone for joining me. Have a fabulous day, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Be well and be safe. And we will see you guys all really, really soon. In fact, I believe I'm going to be live with you guys tomorrow. So look forward to having a chat with you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys. Come sign up to Boost Camp. You will not regret the consistency.